everyone, Jeri Bellini here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I turned one of these plastic spools of thread into one of these that looks like a wooden bobbin. And recently, how this idea came to me, I was cleaning out my sewing cabinet, and there's a video for that. I'll link it up in the window and down in the box below. But after I did my cloth, I went into my sewing cabinet, and that's where I keep all my thread, and I went through all my thread. And if there was just a little bit of thread left on a bobbin, a spool rather, I just wound it off onto a bobbin just to make room for more things. And afterwards, I had like 5 or 6 of these at least empty, and I threw them in the trash, and I felt very uncomfortable doing that because I'm a recycler. And so I went back into the trash, picked them all out, and said, you know, there's got to be something you can do with these. And I keep thinking about the spools that everyone's using, the wooden spools for the scrolls. And I think nobody wants to put their scroll on something that looks like this. But surely there's got to be something we can do with these things to make them look nice. Anyway, this is what I came up with. And I had a lot of fun making these, so I just want to lay them down so you can see some of them. And of course I had to make a yellow one for Happy Yellow Monday. And yeah, so here they are. Let's talk about the supplies first. So I'm just going to move these out of the way. And I want to show you, this is what I originally started out using. And this is a mamagami technique. And if you have been following my texture tags, it was texture tag number 2 that I did this paper technique. So I won't bother explaining that to you now. But you can use any kind of paper, anything at all. And I also did a mamagami video back last summer. So I have quite a few pieces of these kinds of paper. I mamagami'd regular book text too. You probably can't even really see that, but this is just regular book text. And I use this predominantly on the scrolls that I wanted to look really old. So you need some paper. You can also, if you want to make some fun ones, like I did here, you know, use some of your paper, your jelly print paper or whatever, any kind of ephemera that you have. So that's what I used on these too. Book text, whatever. So you're going to need some paper. You're going to also need some markers. And if you don't have markers that have the brush tip on them, you can use craft paint. And I would suggest you just try whatever markers you have and see if it works. I use permanent markers. I did try to use non-permanent markers, and this is plastic, right? So because it's plastic, it's very slippery. I did try to sand it. That doesn't work. You just really need to use a permanent marker. And as you put the permanent marker on, so here's a spool, you really need to put it on and let it dry. Now, if you want to recreate an old-fashioned wooden spool, then you would need a few different browns. And the reason I used a few different browns is because I was looking for like a wood grain look. So don't put it on real carefully. And I think you can probably see this here. So if you don't let it dry and you touch it, it comes right off on your hand. So paint it up. Okay, you're painting up underneath and you're painting up around the edge, and you're going to also paint a little bit on the top. And you can remove this paper if it's loose. If it's on real tight, you can just leave it. Okay, and just kind of go around. And I used 2 different colors of pen, and I used a Pitt pen, which is waterproof. I used the Sharpie markers and a Posca, and then this one too. This is a Copic marker. This is permanent. But let it dry in between. And after I did like the first hit around, I let it dry, and then I went with another color brown and just, you know, spotted it up a little bit to make it look like it's got a wood grain. and then just let them dry really well. All right, so off to the side you go. I would suggest you use some kind of a thick glue. I use this tacky glue. I usually use a glue stick, but I just felt because I'm working with this plastic that the glue stick wouldn't work as well. But if that's all you have, give it a try and see what happens. So that's what I used. All right, now, really simple. I'm just going to basically explain it to you. You're going to just put the paint on just like I showed you, let it dry really well, then take another color of brown and wipe it on there until you get something that looks like wood to you. Let it dry really well. Then you're going to take your paper, whatever paper you decide to use, and just draw a little circle, 2 circles. Now be a little creative with the paper. You can use all kinds of stuff. So I use, this is a corrugated cardboard. So you see it's got some texture. And this is just a piece of paper that was in my stash. And it looks like buttons. Let's see. This is my Mamagami paper, and then I embellished some of them, and I'll talk about the embellishing in just a minute. This is a piece of tissue paper, and I put it on and kind of ripped it off and ran my finger around it, and that's just a little snap from my stash of vintage sewing things. And I didn't want it to look perfect, so I just rubbed it back, and underneath it is a red circle. I think that's about it. Oh, here's something I got out of my ephemera stash. It's an old Singer package. It had needles in it. So just look around, look in magazines, whatever, or you could just leave them. You could just leave them plain. They look cute. This is a paper bag. So think about paper bags. Think about any paper you want. And if you like bright things, then make yours bright. If you want them to be old-fashioned looking, then make them in browns. So once you get your marker all over the top and the edge under here, then you're going to draw your circles, like I said, and then you're going to just take a ruler and just quickly measure that inside piece. So say 1.5 inches. Cut your strip to 1.5 inches. I heavily glued it with the tacky glue and then just wrapped it around. Now after I wrap it, I do take a few minutes and go like this, make sure everything is stuck to it, because I'm going to say it again, it is plastic and things don't really want to stick to this really slippery plastic. So I haven't had any problem with anything coming off. So that's what I did. So paint it first, then put your wraparound on, and then put your top on last. Now, when you put your top on, if you are cutting like a thick piece of paper or something, you might want to take your marker then and just kind of go around the edge so that you don't see like the white inside the paper after you cut it. All right, now what's on top of this one? So this is a DMC, and it came from this DMC box. Brian and I bought out a store that closed near us. Recently, we bought out all their DMC, and a lot of it is before they made barcodes. So they came in these beautiful old boxes, and Brian wanted to toss them, and of course I said no. So I kept the boxes, and that's what I cut out. I cut that out for the top of that. And I have other thoughts for the boxes as well. We are going to list them in our Etsy shop, Recycle Parts for Art. That shop has all our ephemera, books, book text, all kinds of stuff like that. So book text is a really great thing to use for these two, and you can just leave it like that, or you can rub it with some of this. Yeah, ink pads. I'm just having a hard time with my words today, so forgive me. So that's how you make these. Glue them, let them sit, find some fun little trinkets to put on the top, or just leave them plain. And that's it for today, actually. And so I hope you enjoyed seeing this video, and don't forget to just keep moving, just play, no rules, and remember to find something to be grateful for today. I'm always grateful for you, and I'm really grateful for this fun idea. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.